viewers, while international community is calling for talks to resolve Tigray conflict and Tigray's government has laid out some preconditions as well. We have been waiting for an official response from Ethiopian government. What is Ethiopian government's position on TPLF's preconditions? Just an hour ago, an Ethiopian minister spoke with BBC News Hour. He gave an official statement because he is an Ethiopian minister, viewers, about talks with TPLF. He has talked about several important points in his talk with BBC News Hour. Interestingly, viewers, General Sadkan also talked to BBC News Hour yesterday, and he had said yesterday that that TDF would not withdraw from Afar and Amhara regions, and TDF would continue its operations until Ethiopian government agreed to preconditions laid out by TPLF. Today, Zadik Ibraha, who is Ethiopian Minister of Democracy, spoke with BBC News Hour just 2 hours ago, I think. And he is saying no talks with TPLF. He has very openly said, very clearly communicated this to the host of the program, BBC News Hour, that there would be no talks with TPLF. He's saying, Zadik Ibraha, that in the coming weeks, showdown will start. Ethiopian federal forces, Ethiopian government will remove TDF from all the villages, all the towns of Ethiopia, of the world. He used the word world, that we will push TDF out of every village of the world in coming days. Showdown is going to start. We are coming out of humanitarian ceasefire. These are the words of Zadik Ibraha, Ethiopian Minister of Democracy. He says that Tigray is not under any blockade. TPLF is using the issue of humanitarian assistance to mobilize international community against Ethiopian government. A very strong statement from Ethiopian State Minister. So whereas the Ethiopian government is ruling out any talks with TPLF. Just 2 hours ago, we saw a statement from Geta Chore, the spokesperson of TPLF, on his Twitter account. He had said that the only way out of this crisis was that Ethiopian government should agree to preconditions laid out by Tigray's government, and that no drones, no heavy weapons, no recruitments, no farmers can save Ethiopian government, and that TDF are advancing on all fronts. Now, viewers, there is a stalemate. It's very clear now that the two sides are sticking to their positions, and TDF wants Ethiopian government to accept its preconditions. Ethiopian government says no preconditions. We have already announced humanitarian ceasefire. Just withdraw from Afar Amhara regions and abide by the ceasefire which we have announced. Why is Zadik Ibraha saying that a showdown is going to start in coming weeks? What is Ethiopian government up to? Is Ethiopian government making preparations to launch a full-scale offensive on Tigray? Well, either Ethiopian government is doing large-scale recruitments in ENDF, Ethiopian National Defense Forces. We have heard some reports of ENDF doing large-scale recruitments. We saw some mobilization in Addis Ababa, capital of Ethiopia as well. Deputy Mayor of Addis Ababa also shared pictures showing thousands of Ethiopian youth willing to join Ethiopian National Defense Forces. So definitely Ethiopian government has launched a massive drive of recruitment in Ethiopian National Defense Forces. Secondly, it seems that Ethiopian government is trying to acquire weapons as well. We haven't seen Bacha Dable and Ethiopian Army Chief Burhanu Jula over the past few days, because it seems that preparations are being made by Ethiopian government in the coming days. Ethiopian government is planning to launch a full-scale offensive on Tigray. Could we see an attack on Mekelle, airstrikes on Mekelle? Could we see the entry of Eritrean forces as well? Because we have seen that Eritrea is mobilizing its forces along a far Eritrea border and Eritrea-Tigray border. Getachew Reda, in two of his tweets, claimed that Eritrea had mobilized its forces towards Adigoshu and towards a far Tigray border. I shared some pictures from Adigoshu of Eritrean soldiers. Eritrean soldiers are already in Humera. So, are we going to see another phase of this war with Eritrean and Ethiopian National Defense Forces launching a full-scale offensive on Tigray in coming days? Zadik Abraha's today's words indicate that Ethiopian government is not planning to hold any talks with TPLF. Ethiopian government is making preparations. We could see intensified fighting between Tigray Defense Force and Ethiopian National Defense Force in coming days. But TDF says we are advancing. We are going to take control of key Amhara and Afar cities in coming days. We are hearing conflicting reports from both the sides, viewer. But one thing is very clear, that both the sides are moving towards further confrontation. There is no end to this war in sight so far. Civilians are dying. Humanitarian aid is not reaching Tigray. Thousands have been displaced from Amhara and Afar regions, but still no signs of any dialogue to resolve this crisis. I think for watching.